Hi everyone, Janet Boyer here, and I am back with more memory wire bracelet inspiration. I had tons more and I didn't realize, and I was like, oh, I gotta show them the rest of the stuff. So let's start out with some Southwestern ones I made. Cool thing with memory wire bracelets is you could put a charm in the center and you could put tassels on the ends. I really love the combination of teal and orange. Isn't that cool? Here's another one in that color scheme. Pretty shiny orange ball. Got some tiny tassels on there too. Here's another one in the teal and orange. Some tassels on the end. And you can use natural stone, you can use crystals, you can mix faceted with rounds, put spacers in between, use bead caps, a lot of things to dress them up. This is another summer one, and I made this kind of like that had a longer tassel in the front. I used that millefeuille bead and a tassel, and I put a little metal yellow tassel on the end, and there's also other little tiny millefeuille beads through that. So I thought that was cool and summery, orange and blue and yellow. Here's another one. You can use those kind of like bugle beads. You can use those as spacers. Make little dangles out of beads. Use a boho bead as a focal. Pretty neat, huh? Memory wire is just so versatile. All the things that you can do. You can bling it out as much as you want. Like this one I used as a boho. And I made a tassel using the same kind of flower bead. 2 tassels actually. So it basically looks gorgeous from no matter what direction you put it in. I like that color chartreuse and like a dark turquoise together. This one is kind of like a vintage Christmas, even though there's no actual Christmas beads on here. So I combined like a lime light green with like a mustard color and the reds. I thought, oh, that looks kind of like how, you know, vintage Christmas, like how some of the older Christmas ornaments and things were. So I really liked how that came out instead of like the brighter greens and reds, something more along these lines. Sorry for all the sun. It's very sunny where I'm filming right now. Halloween's coming up, and I made a button out of this, and I glued it on the back of a check rectangle bead. So you can even glue your favorite buttons, plastic or metal or whatever. You'll have to probably cut the shank off, and then you can glue it on a rectangular bead so it sits well. And then so I made a Day of the Dead bracelet in the colors that was featured in the button. So we got like the violet, some orange, and some yellow. And so that's what I used. And I added the flowers since a lot of times there's flowers in the Day of the Dead type of design. This is another Day of the Dead, but what I did with this is I made one of those longer central charm tassels again, but this time I made it in the color of the charm, which was pink and some blue. And then I made little tassels for them. And then I love working with purple, so then you can almost make like a pseudo charm bracelet. Like I made a wine lover bracelet out of this. And what I did is I interspersed wine themed charms in between the beads. And I even put grapes in between a longer central bead. So we got different like bottle openers, glasses, grapes. And then this is what it looks like on. Let me get it correct. So you can even make a memory wire bracelet almost like a charm bracelet. And you intersperse them between the beads. How cool is that? So I made like a wine lover, like a charm bracelet, but not on links. Instead, I have them coming out of the memory wire. Here's another purple one. Beautiful violets, dark purples, and some tassels on that too. I love working with purples. Isn't that cool? And you can mix and match, like I said, whether they're faceted, sizes, shapes. Like on this one, I had some squares, interspersed some boho beads, different kind of shapes, tassels. Some are translucent, some are more solid, and it adds interest to your bracelets as well. But I love putting tassels, as you can see, on the end, because I just think it adds a nice sense of movement and style. Here's another one. This isn't technically a wine lover, but I kind of liked how these look like drops of wine. These really funky, like frosted violet beads. And so I made a bracelet that had these unusual beads around it. So see, you can really use any type of bead. Here's another purple one. Has a cool sparkly boho bead in the center. And a larger tassel. And here's some blue, darker blue. This is a pentacle for my pagan friends. Kind of like a midnight color with a tassel. This one was made with a button, and I had chatons, and I actually glued each of these 9 chatons in a black button, and I used the shank to put the memory wire through. So see, there's so many cool things you could do with memory wire bracelets, but isn't that neat? It adds a sense of movement, and I put a little moon on the end, and a little animal. What is this? I can't remember. I don't know if oh, it's a black cat. I must have made this for Halloween. So that's cool. Blue and black is some cool Halloween colors. Then I made some more like Atlantis beachy kind. It doesn't have shells per se, but it kind of reminded me of something that maybe would be found in Atlantis. And another cool thing with memory wire bracelets is that you can do as many rings as you want. So you can really make a nice big bracelet. It'll retain its shape. I made a long dangle on there with a hand to make it look like, you know, a humanoid race was there. And, you know, just added a bunch of different beads and different purples and blacks and blues. So kind of like it looks ancient but futuristic. I call this like an Atlantis type bracelet. I have another one that's sort of like that, and it actually has turtles and shells. So this is kind of like a darker type of ocean theme. It's a good way to use up bead soup. Like if you have a bunch of different colored beads, but they're in the same colorways, then you can always just put them together and make a really cool multi-bangle bracelet. I put a neat tassel in there. Wouldn't that be cool to go to like a concert? Bunch of different colors. Some of my favorite ones that I've ever made, as a matter of fact, I have one upstairs, are these that kind of look tribal. I have like a 4 or 5 ring one that I love so much. I have 2 of them actually. One has bigger beads, one has smaller beads. I loved it so much I couldn't bear to part with them. So I actually wear it out and about. But this is like more of a tribal, but a lot of these have stone. Actual different kind of stone and check glass beads. Some of them are acrylic metallized, but a lot of cool colors, and you can wear that from like any angle. A couple of them are wood, like wood cocoa beads, but I just love that combination of like amber and orange and yellow and copper, bronze. Here's another one. This is similar to the one I kept for myself. And again, it's it's pretty wide and chunky, but I just love it. As you can see, it's very easy to put on, and you don't have to have any type of fastener. It just stays on nice. You can do dangles like I did. Like I made dangles. I have a bunch of different kind of colors. I even have wire beads in this one. Oh my gosh, I like this so much. I might have to keep this one too. I have 2 upstairs, but I love them. You know, they're really cool statement bracelets. And a lot of these are check glass, especially like the orange. Some of them I even have, I think, are muokkite. I have some of the precious stones through here. Some are matte, some are gloss, some are square. I have Saturn beads. Just so many cool autumn colors. I have made chakra bracelets. This is the sacral chakra with a symbol. So you can even make like chakra bracelets. Pretty cool. All of these are on my Shea Boyer Etsy shop, by the way. CHEZBOYERETSY.com. Another bracelet for my pagan friends. This one has like a bronze pentacle and in browns for like a more earthy